Hello everyone, welcome to this orientation session for JAM 2021 hosted by Physical Sciences Consultorium in association with Faculty of Physical Sciences, Shri Ramswaroop Memorial University, Lucknow. Here we are offering a complete package to inform, advise and support undergraduate students to pursue higher education, explore research frontiers, and develop new problem-solving skills for strategic advantages in today's competitive world. For this very purpose, we have invited experts who train newcomers with very updated strategies to impart crucial skills needed to crack such exams. We have Alan Lobo live with us from Bangalore. He's head of physics department, GATE IIT Bangalore Coaching Institute. He trains newcomers for GATE, JAM, CSIR, UGC, JRF in physics. Also we have Chandra Sekhar in our panel of invited speakers with us live from Bangalore. He is a very popular educator, a very committed researcher, and a very good motivational speaker to make this session more effective and engaging. Faculty of Physical Sciences, Institute of Natural Science and Humanities, Shri Ramswaroop Memorial University is our organizing partner for this session, which offer a student-friendly, vibrant ecosystem with academic excellence and leadership in physical sciences. We have a Dean of Faculty of Physical Sciences, Dr. Ajit Singh sir, live with us from Lucknow. Now to proceed further this session, I invite Dr. Ajit Singh sir for a welcome address to this session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Lalit. And पहले तो मैं आप लोग को बहुत बधाई देना चाहूँगा, इस तरह का लाइव सेशन आपने अरेंज किया और डेफिनेटली ये लाइव सेशन, इस तरह का सेशन इस समय की ज़रूरत है हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को, क्योंकि उनको ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि किस तरह की अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ उनको मिल रही हैं। देखिए, ऐसा है कि जैसे IIT में JEE एग्ज़ाम होता है तो बहुत बड़े लोग में बड़े मात्रा में लोग जानते हैं कि JEE एग्जामिनेशन होता है, इसके थ्रू आप 10+2 क्लियर करके आप IITs में एंटर कर सकते हैं। IITs की रेपुटेशन सबको मालूम है कि IITs के किस तरह का एजुकेशन, उनका एनवायरनमेंट रहता है, और लेकिन इनको ये बताना भी जरूरी है कि आफ्टर BSc, आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन आपके पास एक चांस है जब आप IIT को भी ज्वाइन कर सकते हो फॉर मास्टर कोर्सेज, एंड फर्दर फिर गेट और नेट के थ्रू आप रिसर्च के लिए भी वहां पे जा सकते हो। तो आई थिंक 2005 में जैम का एक कलेक्टिव एग्जाम शुरू हुआ है। उससे पहले सभी IITs अपना इंडिविजुअल मास्टर्स का एग्जाम कराती थी। कानपुर के टेस्ट कानपुर में होते थे, दिल्ली IIT के दिल्ली में होते थे। 2005 में मेरे ख्याल से जैम एक बना था जहां सारे IITs उस समय के जो थे उन्होंने एक साथ एग्जाम कराने का सोचा और मेरिट के आधार पर, मेरिट के बेसिस पर वो लोगों को, स्टूडेंट्स को वहां पर एडमिशन देते थे। और 2005 से ऑलमोस्ट 15 इयर्स हो गए हैं एंड नाउ द एग्जाम बिकम वेरी पॉपुलर। आज की डेट में काफ़ी पॉपुलर है और नए IITs बन रहे हैं, नए NITs भी इसमें आई थिंक जुड़ गए हैं काफ़ी। आइसर और भी बेसिक साइंसेस के इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं, वो अब जैम के एग्ज़ाम के स्कोर के बेसिस पर आई थिंक वो अपने यहाँ मास्टर्स कोर्स ऑफर कर रहे हैं। तो अब जैम मतलब ये नहीं कि सिर्फ IITs से ही आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती हैं, आपको और भी अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं जहां से आप जैम के थ्रू जा सकते हो, एडमिशन ले सकते हो। तो ये बहुत जरूरी है। देखिए, मैं यहाँ पर इस तरह से अगर मैं देखूं इसको, तो जो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जिसकी चर्चा हो रही है उसमें भी हायर एजुकेशन को उन्होंने एक तरह से प्रमोट करने की बात कही है। और बहुत ज़रूरी है कि जब नया यंग माइंड बेसिक साइंस की फील्ड में जाएगा, हायर एजुकेशन में जाएगा, हायर एजुकेशन परसू करेगा, तो वो डेफिनेटली उस कंट्री के लिए भी एक बहुत बड़ा एसेट हो जाता है। और अगर जुड़ने का मौका मिल रहा है जैम के थ्रू IITs में और इस तरह के इंस्टीट्यूशंस में, तो आई थिंक ये बहुत अच्छा एक प्लेटफॉर्म है आपने जो दिया है, जहाँ हम स्टूडेंट्स को इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे। आई होप आज जो हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं मिस्टर लोबो एंड चंद्रशेखर जी, वो डेफिनेटली बच्चों की बहुत सारी क्वेरीज होंगी, आ जाएंगी और उनको वो बिल्कुल रिजॉल्व करेंगे. एंड आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर अ वंडरफुल सेशन. एंड आई होप स्टूडेंट्स इसको बहुत अच्छे से बेनिफिट इसका उठाएंगे. सो आई थिंक वी शुड स्टार्ट द सेशन. बहुत ज्यादा हम इसमें समय ना लें. ललित, प्लीज इनवाइट आवर स्पीकर्स.
Sure,
ओके,
sure,
थैंक
sure.
यू.
It is means we have a very special invited expert who are going to tell more about this, what they have to tell, means the strategies and the planning and about more about this exam. So without wasting much time, we go for uh, uh, talk by our invited speakers. So now I invite our invited expert, Alan Lobo, for his presentation. He has a vast experience of training young students for exams like GATE, JAM, and CSIR, UGC, JRF in physics. He has qualified such exams with very good record himself and have a wonderful record of high success percentage of students under his training. Thank you, Ellen, for taking precious time for us. I sincerely appreciate the kind of work you do for young students in achieving their dreams. So it is really fantastic work, and this your presence to this platform. We are a new platform, and you kindly agreed to be with us for this session. And I'm really thankful for having you here and hosting you in this platform. Please take over the session for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Good evening, and thank you for the lovely introduction. All right. So, just let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, please share the screen, then I will put it on presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the screen visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So, meanwhile, I'll stop my camera to avoid any network issues and.
Yeah. You stop your camera, put the presentation on full screen so that
Yes.
we see that presentation. Yeah. This is there. I put it presentation. Oh, yeah, very good. Now
Okay.
it looks there very well. And
Yeah.
now without any interruption from our side, we will be there to listen you. It is
Okay.
up to you. If you want to put camera on, then this is all right. Otherwise, we will put it on presentation mode and your presentation. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. All right. So, good evening, students. Dr. Lalit has already given his my introduction, so I won't waste time on that. The contents of this talk would be the following. I'll first of all take you through what is it to be a physicist in real life? What does it mean to be a physical sciences scientist or a researcher? After a small talk on that, we are going to explore some different career options. हम लोग के पास जो भी careers options है after studying BSc, after doing MSc, and after finishing our PhD, what all do we have in our hand? And then after that, we'll discuss about the exam, IT JAM exam. I'll explain to you every single detail that you need to know for writing this exam. Then I'll just show you a set of colleges that take admission for students through the IIT JAM exam. I'll also give you an example of some other exams that you can also try along with IIT JAM, which are actually going to be both as a practice and is going to open a lot of doors for you in your future. And then I'll talk about how to prepare for this exam. All right, what are the key points and what are the things that you need to know both about the syllabus and about the level of exams in order to score marks here, and what do you expect as a result of your preparation. And one very important topic that we had to discuss was how do students of your age manage the time to prepare both for your college exams and for your entrance exams. So let's start without any further ado. Lalit, you can hear me properly? No issues there? Okay. So we start with the first part, which is the life of a physics researcher. Hello. Can you hear me, Lalit? I think you have muted yourself. That's why it is. I cannot hear you. Lalit, you have muted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I can hear you properly. If there is any issue, I will let you know. Your screen is now not available. Please share the
Yes, yes. I have
presentation.
stopped the sharing.
Oh,
Okay, so let's continue. So when we talk about being a physicist, what do we mean by being a physicist? We as people have been studying a set of subjects for almost our entire lives. So what is physics? What do we study and why is it so interesting for some of us? All right. So I'll explain this to you in a very simple understanding. In physics, you only talk about the methods in which events occur in our universe. What are the reasons of these occurrences? What are the laws that govern every single event that occurs, from tossing of a coin to the formation of a star, every single thing. We have come to realize after millennia of thoughtful and practical experiments that everything in this universe occurs because of a certain set of rules and a certain set of requirements. There is nothing in this universe which is ideally random. All right, and here is the interesting part. Here is where the fun of physics starts. The interesting part here is that whenever we talk about physics, we always talk about the reason of an experiment, the reason of an event. Now, there are two ways to understand this. There are two ways in which we physicists study this part. The first part, if you talk about the philosophy of science, the first part is called constructive empiricism. What does that mean? Basically, in simple terms, we call it experimental sciences. What we do here is we come across a certain law or a certain event that occurs, and we perform experiments on top of it. Based on these experiments, we come to general conclusions and we try to construct certain models to understand the structure of our nature. In simple terms, that is called experimental physics. For example, there was a simple concept long back that if a photon has a particle like nature, then perhaps you can induce collision between a photon and an actual particle such as an electron. Later, when that experiment was done, it came to be collectively known as Compton effect or Compton scattering. So that's just one of the examples of constructive empiricism. The second aspect of the work or the life of a physicist is something known as scientific realism. Now, what is that? Scientific realism is the approach to understand the actual reasons of these experiences. Why is it that the photon has particle-like nature? It is a question that all of you must have come across in your syllabus when you have studied quantum mechanics or modern physics. What is the reason that a particle is behaving as a wave and a wave is behaving as a particle? What is the reason or what is the law that governs the formation of a planet or a star? This is called scientific realism, and we call it theoretical sciences. These are the two aspects of learning physics. As students, we come to another aspect, which is called qualifying the exams, which we'll come to in some time. Anyways, now we see that over time we have had a lot of technological advancements that help us come to results much faster. If I talk about 100 years or 50 years from now, proving a certain experiment, a certain hypothesis, or proving a certain theory would take a lot of time. But these days it is not the case. In these cases, because the uh, technological help that we get in performing experiments is so much, and the infrastructure of the research institutes and colleges that we have is so much, that we don't need it. We don't need a lot of time. We can get it done very fast. So this is a better thing for us. Why? Because the faster your result comes, the faster you will get your recognition, the faster you will get your acceptance, maybe even a reward. So what is the perks of being a researcher? Why does, or why should anyone want to become a researcher? The first and foremost thing that I don't have to tell you is the luxury of life. Now what do you mean by that? We as physicists, or if I even talk about a scientist in general, we are very focused in our own different type of a life, different type of a universe. We don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about having some respect in the society. We don't have to worry about anything. Our society will provide everything for us. Our job is to be completely free of mind and to completely focus only on what we like doing. As a matter of fact, I should tell you something, students, that being a researcher is the only job in the world where you will spend your life doing what you actually like doing. No one becomes a researcher, no one becomes a scientist under pressure of someone else. Anyone, be it a teacher or a parent or whoever, even under peer pressure. This is the only career that any student will ever choose in this world, only and purely because of his interest, his or her interest. All right, so it's completely a stress-free environment, full of every single perk that you can imagine. Along with that, you get a lot of recognition throughout. A good paper, when you publish it, is read by every single peer that is in the same department as you, all over the world, not just in the country. All right, so recognition is one important factor. You will be known all over the world, and I can give you many examples about that. The third part is something that many of you don't know actually. We normally assume that if I'm studying physics, if I'm a researcher of physics, then all my life I'll be studying physics. That's not true. The graduation syllabus that you all have been introduced to has been constructed in such a way that you focus on a particular subject at a time. But in reality, it's not true. You can always opt for interdisciplinary courses and you can do research or study whatever you want. I have many friends who have been physicists their entire academic life, and they have shifted to life sciences and have performed certain results and have built up a career on them. All right. By the time you finish your MSc, your life and your career depends only on your interests. So you have full freedom for doing interdisciplinary research. Now the recognition that you get from the government is actually of the same level as an officer, as a central officer or a state level officer would get. Every perk is the same. The salary commission is also the same. And I don't have to tell you again about the respect that you get from the society. So what are the different career options that we have amongst us? Now, all of you are familiar with the first two. We have the first option is a scientist. Now, I have already discussed with you what is meant by theoretical sciences and what is meant by experimental sciences. So in a theoretical sciences, I'll just give you an introduction to what a theoretical scientist would normally do. The job of a theoretical scientist is to understand a certain phenomena and to give a logical answer or an explanation to that. Now we live in the time of philosophy where logic is equivalent to mathematics. So if we ever experience or if there is any phenomena that has been discovered, the job of a theoretical physicist will be to explain the reason for that event. And in this process, perhaps discover something new. We can do that as well. The job of the experimental physicist, on the other hand, is to confirm the prognosis given by the theoretical scientists, or to confirm or to reenact a certain set of phenomena and a certain set of events. The third aspect is an upcoming um, research opportunity in the field of physics, which is called applied sciences. These days, as you know, that we are in the post-industrial revolution, in which we have a huge demand for innovation. So there have been a number of careers, a number of opportunities, and a number of courses which come under the applied sciences phenomena. You should know that engineering is one of them. There are many reputed institutes in our country and abroad that offer courses on applied physics, applied mathematics. Now, what does applied mean? Applied just means that you can use your physics skills, the information that you have studied and collected over time in physics, and you can contribute it in other ways as well. Did you understand this? As a simple example, let's say a country wants to increase their productivity in nuclear, what's it called, energy. Who will they contact? It is us who they will contact. So there are different branches in physics, specifically which deal with energy secretion. For example, in nuclear physics. So applied sciences fall under that category. It's not a very specific category, it's a very vague category. The second very interesting career option that you have is that as a lecturer or a professor. All right. Now, the first perk that you get as a professor is that you will never lack an opportunity in your life. As long as you can stand and speak, you can teach and you can earn. And your knowledge will never decrease, it will always keep increasing. The more you teach every single year, the more number of batches that you handle, the more is your reputation increased in your department. All right, every single college, let me tell you something, students. All of you will agree definitely with me that education is an industry that will never ever end, no matter what happens. Even during the time of this plague that you all know of, education is an industry which will never go in loss. All right. So if you are, if you have an insight in this, you will realize that entering this education industry is also a very bright option for all of you. But that does not mean that you will have to stop your research experience. That's not true. As a matter of fact, if you are a researcher in a college or a good institute, you get huge grants and complete freedom to continue your research. There is no problem anywhere else. Then the third aspect, as you can see, is opportunities in the up and coming research and development sectors of both public and private sector jobs. These include certain specialized departments like the Defense Research Development Organization, ISRO, all of you know, Indian Space Research Organization, the Meteorological Department, MET. Then there are many health sciences department in which you have topics especially of radiology and stuff like that. All right, in which you will work on really very interesting projects. Let me tell you, there are many interesting projects of research and development that you can come across during your career as a physicist. Now, to get to all that, what are you supposed to do? All of you are already finished doing your graduation, and I think all of you are already finishing your graduation. So what is the talk actually about? The talk is about preparing all of you to understand and score very nicely in this coming exam, IIT JAM. You all know the full form of this. This is the Joint Aptitude Test for Masters, and some colleges even offer an integrated PhD course, which you can get if your rank is very high. The exam is conducted once every year, probably in the second Sunday, on the second Sunday of February. All right, but that's again not a guarantee. The time can change. So far, that's what we have observed. This is the entrance test using which you enter into our country's most reputed colleges. And what is the benefit of entering these colleges? The better college you enter, the better education you will receive, more the knowledge you will have, more career opportunities you will have. This is the reason why it is told to focus on entrance exams. Otherwise, there are so many colleges all over the world. So what is the reason? What is the necessity that I should prepare for IIT JAM? The necessity is to receive better knowledge, better research, or better career opportunities in life, and better exposure. Better the college, better will be its syllabus, better will be the faculties, and more information you will receive. That's the thing. So that is why there is a competition in this. Now, coming to the type of questions, you see that there are three types of questions that normally come in IIT JAM. The first is multiple choice questions. MCQs, all of you know already, it's an objective type with only one correct answer. The second is MSQs, which is called multiple select questions with more than one correct answers. So here, what happens is that if, let's say, a given MSQ question has 4 different options, all right, then you will have to select all the correct answers out of those 4 options. Let's say that those options, 4 options may, there are 3 correct answers. You will not get any marks if you select only 2 or only 1. You will have to select all 3. So there is no partial marking anywhere in the IIT JAM exam paper. Please keep that in mind. This is a very common misunderstanding that many students develop while practicing this. All right, that's your MSQ. Numerical answer type questions is a very interesting type of a question in which your answer should be in actual digits. So there will not be any options there. Since the exam is completely online, all of you know that the exam is completely online, what will happen is that the moment you attempt this question, you will receive a pop-up keyboard. Using that keyboard, you can put your answer as option number. For example, the answer is 2.35. So you can select 2.35. So that's your third type. Now coming to the level of difficulty, let me tell you something, students. IIT JAM exam is perhaps the easiest exam that you have for MSc entrance. There are 2 reasons for that, I'll tell you. The first reason is that there is not much competition. And this is actually something very true. There is really not much competition in IIT JAM exam. First of all, many students don't normally know about IIT JAM. Second reason is that people who even know it, they pursue their graduation BSc course for some other reasons. All of them will not want to focus on research. So all this is going to be an upper hand for you. Less, what is that called? Number of students attempting. It means higher is your probability of getting a good rank. Also, the IIT JAM exam is a national level exam. So national level exam means what? It means that students of every single university is going to come. So what is the benefit here? The benefit is that the IIT JAM paper is standardized. It is a normalized paper. You created in such a way that students of every single university can attempt, which basically means then that even if IISc or IIT Bombay is creating the paper's level will be very low. It will be a standard level that every graduation student can achieve. Other exams are not like this. If you talk about JEST or TIFR or other like GATE and all, they are specifically meant for their own colleges. So their level is maintained. But in IIT JAM, it's not true. IIT JAM questions are much easier compared to them. Got it? So if you prepare very nicely, if you prepare like the way I'm going to tell you later, each question will give you maximum 2 or 3 minutes to solve. That's maximum time. It's not going to be more than that at any cost. And you will see, I'll show you some sample questions that have come from this exam. And you can see if your mathematical skills are good, if your knowledge of your syllabus is good, then you will not even require to use a lot of pen to solve many questions in this exam. I'll show it to you. You will see it to be really very surprising. Now, coming to the syllabus, as you can see, I've already written the syllabus of the exam is that of a central university level. All right. So you pick up any what's it called syllabus content from, let's say, any what's it called central, like Hyderabad Central University or any proper central university. Every single question will come from that syllabus. Now there are some very few, very rare universities which do not offer the same content in their syllabus. All right. So I'll tell you what is the solution for that. And you can see the exam focus is around 75 to 80% on numericals. There are some questions which come from theory as well, like I'll show to you. Now, there is a type of question called critical thinking questions which come in your exam, in which 2 to 3 disciplines are combined together and then given as an answer. Got it? Most of it comes from mathematical methods plus classical or mathematical methods plus quantum. All right. So what I have found in my career so far is that the 3 block preparation, this is a method that I have developed, 3 block preparation, which suits best for this particular exam. Now, what is this 3 block preparation? Now, students, I want you to write this down very properly. In the 3 block preparation, we divide the syllabus into 3 parts depending on its importance and the number of questions. The first block, please write down, it is the most important block. Most important block in which every chapter needs to be covered thoroughly. You need to focus on the concepts. You need to focus on the what's it called, numericals, the formulas, the theory, definition, derivation, every single thing. It should be on your fingertips. You should be that good in this first block. Now, what chapters does this contain? Please write down. Mathematical methods, classical mechanics, electromagnetic theory, and quantum mechanics. These 4 are called the pillars of physical sciences. If you have a good grip in these, then your physics will be superb, let me tell you. You should not compromise in these 4 chapters. You should be very thorough with these 4 chapters, every single thing. In every exam, in almost every interview process, you will always get questions from these parts itself. If you are continuing your life as a physicist, these are the topics that will help you, that will actually help you everywhere. The second block is called the advantage block. The advantage block is easy. First of all, it is easy. Second thing, it is normally seen that even if you attempt higher level exams like CSIR or GATE, most of the questions from the second block will come from the degree level only. Got it? So the second block consists of, again, 4 chapters. The first is electronics. Second is solid state. Third is thermodynamics. And fourth is statistical physics. Got it? So what happens here? In these 4 chapters, first of all, the theory is easy. It's not difficult. It's really very easy to understand. Concepts are there, but not many. As far as the exams are concerned, not many concepts are there. Most of the questions are completely formula based. Compare it with the first block. In the first block, you will not find questions that are formula based from anywhere except from electromagnetic theory. But here, almost all the questions are formula based. Got it? These questions have a huge weightage. The second block have a huge weightage. All right. You should see, as an example, I'll tell you, in one of the exams called CSIR NET exam in 2018 December exam, from electronics alone, around 15 questions had come. This was very surprising. 15 questions, let me tell you. All right, same thing happens in JAM as well. If you see 2016 JAM paper, you will see many questions coming from electronics and circuits. Many questions. All right, so this is a scoring. That's by the name, advantage. Now, what happens in the first block, you will have to study all 4 chapters. But in the second block, you can study any 3. You can leave one. All right. Now, this is for your exam qualification. You can, out of these 4 chapters, you can study 3 and you can leave one. Now, normally I would suggest that you go with electronics and thermodynamics and statistical or solid state, any one of these, because it is faster to finish.
Hello, Ellen. Can you hear me now? I'm not able to hear your voice as of now. Hello. Hello, Ellen. Are you there? Uh, Sorry, there is some network issue from Ellen's side. I hope he will get connected to us very soon again. And he's telling very interesting information about the exam. First, he told about how we are how this qualifying this kind of exam where will take us in the future, and then he outlined the way we need to he told about the exam. Yeah, thank you so much again Ellen is with us. So sorry Ellen, there was some interruption from side, so I just told a little bit. So you share your screen and proceed with the presentation.
Yes, yes. So where did it stop actually?
Yeah, it is started with this JAM exam pattern you told, and you were telling about the blocks of it. So we hear almost everything. Just a minute ago, there was some disruption.
Okay, so second block I think was done, right?
Yeah. You were talking about the second block. So at the time, so this
Okay. Okay. Thank you for telling.
So you just add the screen. I will put it in the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen. Yeah, I'm just adding it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
Thank
telling you about the 3-block preparation. The first block, as I already told you about, was the 4 important pillars of physics: the classical mechanics chapter, mathematical physics chapter, then quantum mechanics and electromagnetic theory. The second block, which I like calling at the advantage block, in which the weightage is huge, difficulty is less, and you have an option for selecting only 3 out of that constitutes electronics, thermodynamics, solid state, and statistical. All right. Now, even if you prepare later on in life for your other entrance exams, which you will for CSR and all, you will have to study from all these topics itself. Now, from the advantage block, most of the questions in those exams come from the degree level only. So, if you prepare properly now, it will help you later on as well. Okay. Coming to the third part, the third block is the optional block. Optional block means nothing but these chapters, which is atomic physics, nuclear physics, molecular physics, condensed matter physics, particle physics. Condensed matter is not actually a part of JAM, but you will study it and you should study it. It's not something, it's actually something very interesting to study. So, what happens here is out of these 5, most of the questions are theoretical in nature. It's very easy, very theoretical. Also, you can select 3 out of these 5. All right. So my suggestion would be to go through your atomic nuclear particle. That's my personal suggestion. If you want to use some other chapter, you can go to that as well. So this is the 3-block preparation. This method that I have tested over time for different batches has actually worked wonders. All right. You will definitely qualify with a very high rank if you follow this method. Even though if you have very less time right now to prepare for the exam, you can continue with the same method this 3-block method. Finish the first block first. That will take around 1 month from now if you are very focused in this. All right, go through every single thing and start practicing. What do you practice? You practice previous year papers. All right, do not study anything else unless you have finished previous year questions. That gives you confidence. That tells you the type of questions that are coming. It's very important. By the time you finish the first block, then go to the second block, finish that, and then go to the third block. Second block will also take 1 month. Third block will also take 1 month. So you will have a collective practice of 3 months for the first part, 2 months for the second part, and 1 month for the third part. And even if you start from today, let me tell you, you will get a very positive result. I have had students who have joined to my class for a crash course. All right, they have studied for 2 months, they have prepared for 2 months, and they have qualified, and they are sitting in IIT Bombay pursuing MSc in physics. So that's the method of preparation. I'll come to some more discussion about this later. The exam pattern, as you can see, I have clearly stated, there are 3 sections in the IIT JAM exam. The first section, section A, has 10 questions of 1 mark and 20 questions of 2 marks. All right, with collectively your 30 questions altogether and 1/3 of the total marks in your negative marking scheme. All right, so 33.33% negative marking will be awarded, not awarded actually, it will be deducted from section A. Section B and section C do not carry any negative marking. Got it? But that does not mean that section B and section C should be focused more on section and section A should be avoided. Please don't think like that. The easiest questions will be in section A only. All right, the easiest questions will be only in section A. Got it? Section B has MSQs like we already told you about in the beginning of this. And section C is having NAT, that is numerical answer type questions. So this is your pattern. Once you qualify your entrance exam, that is the IIT JAM exam, you will be selected and shortlisted for an interview process. No college in India will give you an admission directly looking at your marks. Every college takes an interview. It sees how good you are. All right, because IIT JAM cannot be qualified just by mugging up the numericals and all. Trust me. Even if you manage to qualify, you will get rejected in the interview process. In the interview process, it is actually of 2 ways. You can either have a viva, all right, or you can have a written test. Normally, ICERs, IASER, that is, I'll tell you about the exam at the college, they opt for a written test, whereas in IITs and all, they opt for interview process. But that, of course, is selective to the particular college. There is no prediction involved there. So interview tells you that you have to have some theoretical knowledge as well. All right. So right now, I know that you all don't have time. So first focus on the entrance exam, and you will get a 1 month or 2 month or 3 month window in between after writing your exam. So then you can cover up your theory very fast. Understanding? So moving on to the next part. We talk about the list of colleges and institutes that accept the JAM score. Now, as you can see here, the Indian Institute of Science, IISc, that's in Bangalore, that is actually very, what's it called? India's most prominent institute, that is Indian Institute of Science. Apart from that, all the ICERs, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, there are 5 ICERs altogether. So they will also accept the JAM score. But of course, they will take their own, what's it called, interview in the form of a test and then a viva as well. NITs are also there, and National Institute of Science Education Research, that is NICER, is also there. Then one very interesting institute, the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research, is now it belongs to JNU, and even though JNU has remained in news a lot, JNU, let me tell you, the education offered by JNU is top notch. It's it's really very good. Trust me on that. All the IITs, of course, they take the JAM score. All the NITs also take the JAM score. All right. and the Indian Institute of Engineering Sciences and Technology is also that's there in Kolkata, Howrah actually. So that is also going to take your score. For more details, I've sent the links that will tell you a specific plan of which college or institute has how many seats for physics and stuff like that. All right, then moving on. Now, IT JAM is not your only option, even though it is the best option, it is not your only option. JEST is a daughter exam or a sister exam, you can say, which is very similar to IT JAM. All right, except for only one thing. JEST questions are more conceptual, less formula based. Got it? So if your content grasp in the subject is very good, you will be able to qualify JEST much easier than you qualify JAM. All right, your conceptual knowledge, that has to be very solid in this. TIFR GS is an entrance exam that is used specifically for Tata Institute of Fundamental Research and its allied colleges. GATE physics is also one exam, but there is a condition there. In GATE physics, you need to have a 4-year graduation program instead of a 3-year graduation program. So if any students are coming from BTech and they want to pursue their life as a physical sciences researcher or a faculty and stuff like that, if they want to continue their course in physics, they should write GATE physics. Then Delhi University is also one university which offers a very decent course on physics. Then JNU, again, I told you. Now remember the GRE exam. All right, we Indian students should be very proud of the fact that our level of education is much higher than abroad. In terms of what I'll tell you, GRE, the graduate record exams, is an international exam for pursuing MSc abroad. Most probably in Western, mostly in Western countries, but there are some Eastern countries also that will use this score. Now, if you look at the paper of JAM and if you compare it with GRE, there is no comparison. GRE is easy, it's horribly easy. All of you will find GRE really very easy. Most of the questions are either based on definition, or they are based on simple formulas, or some simple concepts. There are not many formula based or very tricky questions that will come in GRE. Then you have the Hyderabad Central University exam. Hyderabad Central University is one of the very prominent universities that we have for physics. Pune University is something likewise. And then there are many other prominent state universities and state level colleges that also offer courses in physics. So I have actually arranged this in the order of your preference. Your first preference is always IIT JAM. All right. After IIT JAM, you should also focus on JEST and TIFR. GATE, if you can write, if you're eligible, then you should write. Otherwise, you should let it be. Then all these exams will start in the month of April, May, June, and all. All right. JEST will occur almost at the same time, somewhere 1 week ahead or 1 week behind the JAM exam. TIFR, on the other hand, will take place in December itself. All right. So you should be very careful about the dates. It's very important. All the other exams will take place apart from the first 3, JEST, TIFR, and GATE. The other exams are going to take place most probably in April, May, June. So the notification comes out mostly by January or February if there is any delay. But JAM, as you know, the notification and the form filling is already out. So will be for TIFR and JEST. So please be careful. Do not miss these exams. All right. Now, coming to the actual concept, how do I prepare for this? How do I prepare for IIT JAM? Something very important that you should focus on your syllabus since day one. The day you realize that no, you have to build a career in this physical sciences and you have to study physics from a good college. Since that day, from that day, please start focusing on the syllabus. Don't study physics only out of the force or pressure of your college. There must be some interest, there should be some interest inculcated in yourselves. This is the reason why we have created today's talk, to develop that, to inculcate that interest in you students. All right. I have already explained to you how marvelous the life becomes and how easygoing the life becomes once you become a physical science, physical sciences researcher. All right. Your focus should start, and you should prepare according to your syllabus. That's always the best way. All right. Don't go according to the university or the college pattern, because they will take 3 years to finish your syllabus. If you go according to your syllabus, then you will definitely be a little faster. All right. And the content that you should study, please make sure that you are standardizing your study material and your content according to the syllabus of any IIT or ISC. It's very easy. Go to the college website, download the syllabus, study accordingly. Even though it might be a little too much, it might be a little bit more than what your college is already offering. It will be a huge help for you if you can cover that much information. Trust me, it's going to be really very helpful. Then understand one thing. If you're thinking that you can study physics only by memorizing the definition and the derivation and then attempting the exam, it's not going to help you. You have to understand the root basics of physics. Understanding what is meant by this Lagrangian, what is the canonical equation of motion, why do we use it, what is meant by time independent perturbation, what is meant by time independent evolution in quantum mechanics. Don't just focus on the formulas. It's not going to help you. Understanding. So always focus on the actual content. Understand everything. I'll show you some questions after this slide. You will understand how to study and what to prepare, how to prepare. Okay. Now coming to the mathematical skills. It is very important that your mathematics is as strong as your physics. All right. Now this is the difference between a mathematician and a physicist. Both of them are good in mathematics, but a mathematician starts the philosophy of mathematics, whereas a physicist just uses mathematics to start the philosophy of physics. Mathematics is your tool, it's your best friend, like I've written there. You cannot ignore mathematics at all. You will understand, but only to a limit. Okay. Now, for all this, you will always need some good reference books. There are a set of books which are very interesting and very world famous. I'll show you some books right now, and you should write them down. For mathematical methods, it is Mathematical Methods by Arfken, Arfken, or by Merle C. Potter. I'll show to you some very interesting books that I have here. This is the Mathematical Methods by Merle C. Potter. All right. Lalit, can we see the video? Can you see my video?
Yeah, I can see your video and the book you're showing.
Yes.
I can put your on speaker screen if you want.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So as long as the students can understand. So that's the book for Mathematical Methods by Merle C. Potter. It's a very good book. It covers everything, and from the perspective of a physicist, not from the perspective of a mathematician. So it will tell you where you need each chapter. It's not just going to tell you how to solve problems, it's also going to tell you where to need each chapter. Now, apart from that, we have some other books. For example, if we talk about modern physics, then we have a book for modern physics, which is the Kenneth Crane Wiley publication. It covers everything from special theory to quantum mechanics to your general relativity and cosmology, astrophysics. Everything is covered in this book, and it gives you a very nice insight about the syllabus. Now, another book apart from that is a book that I have here, which is a book for classical mechanics. It's a world-renowned book. It's Classical Mechanics by Goldstein. All right. If you study through these, you will not require help from anyone else. All right. These are the books that are meant to educate the fellow starting from scratch. Every single thing is covered very beautifully in such books. Similarly, for quantum mechanics, one world renowned book that everyone will agree, whoever has studied, is Quantum Mechanics by J.J. Sakurai. It's a world famous book by a world famous scientist, Quantum Mechanics by J.J. Sakurai. So I'm just giving you examples to show that there are many interesting books that you all can refer to. And if you study through these, your grasp in the content will be absolutely fantastic. There are many more books as well, what's it called, that I have here. Anyways, so coming to that, the next part is very important. You need to practice numericals as much as you practice your derivations and your theory. All right. For this, you should refer to previous year entrance exam books. Right now, just write down the name of one of such a book, a few of such books. You have IIT JAM and MSc entrance exam by Samvedana publication, the physics book by Samvedana publication. That is one. Then you have another book which I have in front of me right now, the R. Gupta publication, IIT JAM Physics by R. Gupta publication. One very interesting book that I have is Pathfinder. All right, it is actually for CSIR and JRF and GATE exams, but you have similar books for JAM as well. This is your Pathfinder publication, previous year short papers. All right, it's a very good book, and this publication is the few of those publications which actually offer correct solutions. You will find many places in your websites and all, like Physics by Physics is one very interesting institute. So I won't tell specifically for that institute, but there are many resources, all right, that are available online, in which what happens is that they give you a previous year question, and they know the solution already. Meaning they know the answer. So they somehow and some way get to the solution. The solution is wrong, but somehow they are getting the correct answer. So that will misguide you. Got it? The same error happens in Arihant MSc entrance book and Arihant CSI physics book. If you see, question is correct, answer is correct, but the solution makes no sense. So you should focus on standard books. It's very important, both for your theory and for your practicing numericals. Got it? And you don't need to stress yourself too much about all this. Got it? You should make a proper plan. You should sleep properly at night. You should wake up early morning, or according to your own schedule that you all will follow. All right? Make a proper plan. You all are adults, you're not kids. So we don't have to give you a proper schedule, but make sure that at least 4 to 5 hours every day you practice questions. There is a reason for that. Okay, if you practice too much, you get saturated. After 1 week or 1 month maximum, you will get saturated. You will start thinking, okay, I'm enough of this. If you study too less, then your interest will disappear. 1 hour, 2 hour, you won't find it interesting. Got it? So all this is psychology that you all should also focus on. 3 to 4 to 5 hours is more than enough. All right, and you should be very careful about your time taken for any question also. When you start, you will maximum take 5 minutes, maybe let's say 10 minutes. It should reduce. Don't leave a chapter unless you are confident that you can solve any question of that level from that chapter. All right, I know all these to hear all of these things at once sounds complicated, but trust me, when the time comes, when you start doing it, it will not be difficult. It will be really very easy. And trust me, student, I personally guarantee if you follow these things, you will go through these exams. You will get good ranks. That's a personal guarantee. I have had many students who have come with many different problems, that they are not able to focus, they're not able to get the time, they're not able to do this. And when you see the results, the results themselves will speak of their hard work. And it does not matter that you are starting late. You start. That is more important. Anyways, so here, as you can see, I have some sample questions that have come from many different exams. Some are from JAM, some are also from JEST. I did not give too many questions because of lack of time. That was one reason. But anyways, so I'll show to you some simple questions here. You can see in this case, there are 4 vectors given below in the Cartesian and polar coordinate forms. So when you study vector space and vector calculus, you will come across polar forms and Cartesian forms of coordinate systems. The question is asking, identify which of the forces are conservative. This is a direct concept. When you see conservative, you come across the result. What is the result here? The result is pretty easy. Conservative forces, all of you know, do not show any work F dot dr when it comes to a closed path. Is 0. Right? Now, this is the concept from classical mechanics. Now there comes the concept from mathematical methods. Using Helmholtz and Stokes theorem, you will realize that if the integral of a vector field, in simple terms, if the integral of this force, vector force, in a closed loop is 0, then it must imply that the curl of the force is also equal to 0. This is the second insight. These are called insights. You don't develop these in the exam, students. You develop these while practicing. Got it? So del cross F is 0. Now, the question says there are 4 options. So do you think I will sit here and I will calculate the curl of all these 4? No. There is another method that I can use to reduce the time taken. Del cross F is 0. When is the curl 0? In simple terms, curl will be 0 if the x component of the function is only a function of x, y component is a function, y component of the vector is only a function of y, z component of the vector is only a function of z. In simple terms, out of these, this will have 0 curl because it's only a function of r with r cap, right? And this will have 0 curl because x axis may only a function of x, y axis may only a function of y. You can see in this case, in the second option, y axis has a function of x and z axis has a function of y. So it will have some curl, hence it is not conservative. In the fourth case, phi cap, which is the polar coordinate, has a function of r. Polar angle form has a function of r, so hence it has some curl. So my option is A and C do not have curl, hence A and C will give you 0 integral in the closed loop, and hence A and C are conservative. Option number D done. Finished. How much time will it take? Understanding. This is your concept. Some questions come from completely from theory as well. Like I told you, 75 to 80% focus is on numericals, but some questions come from theory. So if you see this question here, this is a question coming directly from definition of simple harmonic oscillators. If you study this, you will realize that this is the potential energy for a quantum simple harmonic oscillator. And the energy eigenvalues is given by n plus 1 by 2 times h cross omega for a one-dimensional potential. Finished. Same thing with this 2. Both of these were theoretical questions. It is necessary to apply quantum statistics. This is coming from quantum, the statistical physics, and a simple theory, simple knowledge of this. When do you use quantum statistics? Excuse me. When do you use quantum statistics? When the particles are identical and indistinguishable. Indistinguishable. If you have studied statistical physics, you will know that indistinguishable particles called fermions and bosons use quantum statistics. Indistinguishable means if there is substantial overlap between the wave functions of these particles. Did you understand this? Option number 3 which might confuse some of you, because you might think, okay, even option number 3 seems to be correct. That is the postulate for identical particles having identical mass and charge. It is not the postulate for indistinguishable particles. Indistinguishable particles are option number A. That's all. If you know this, then you know your answer. Now there are some concepts which are critical thinking, like I told to you all. Look at this question number 5. The potential energy U as a function of R is shown below. If the particle of mass m1 and energy E1 starting from R equals to A moves towards the origin, then what will happen? Now, this is a question of classical physics. So there is no concept of quantum barrier penetration involved. Keep that in mind. Otherwise, the question would say, did you understand this? All right, now let's look at the options. Let's read through the option. This is an MSQ. MSQ. Okay. So option 1 is there is only one turning point for the particle. Option number 2 is velocity of the particle starts to increase at r equals to a and then reaches maximum at r equals to c. Okay, let's see. And the velocities of particles at r equals to a and r equals to b are equal. Option number D is that the particle gets bounded if it's elastically collided with another stationary particle, imparting a momentum greater than root of 2m2e1. Now, how do I solve this? Take a look here. This is a question that you can solve very easily using concepts of energy. When does the particle turn? The particle turns when it reaches a boundary of its motion. So it's a concept of bounded and unbounded. And what is the boundary? The boundary is where mechanical energy becomes equal to potential energy. Why? Because here kinetic energy will become zero. Now tell me something. Is it possible for kinetic energy to be negative? No, right? So if kinetic energy cannot be negative, it implies that mechanical energy minus potential energy has to be more than or equal to zero, which implies E must be more than or equal to U. So the point where E is equal to U, which is here, the body will stop. So the body is coming from this end, it will stop here and it will go back. That's why option number A is correct. Did you understand? Second, now the question talks about velocity of the particle. So velocity means nothing but kinetic energy. I should focus on kinetic energy. The kinetic energy of the particle starts to increase at r equals to a. It starts to increase at r equals to a and reaches a maxima at r equals to c. Now what is this here? If the potential energy is decreasing, then the kinetic energy will increase, right? Because total energy has to be a constant. So you can see here, the lowest point for the potential energy is the highest point for the kinetic energy. So what is the highest point, lowest point for this? So it's C, option of point C here, isn't it? So the highest kinetic energy will be where? It will be at point C. So hence the velocity will be occurring at a maxima at r equals to C, and from A to C. If the particle is going from A to C, the potential energy is decreasing, hence kinetic energy will increase. Hence option number B is also correct. But then it starts to decrease also, as you can see here. Reaches its maximum means after this point it will start to decrease. That's obviously understood. Now, the velocities of the particles at r equals to A and r equals to B are equal. I will come to this option a little bit later. Let's go to option number 4. All right. The particle gets bounded if it elastically collides with a stationary particle of mass m2 at r equals to c at this point here. So at this point, there is a particle present, okay, and imparts the energy having momentum which is greater than this. Now, this is something very important for you all to understand. Right now, what is the kinetic energy of the particle? It cannot be negative, so kinetic energy is E1. Okay? Now, if the momentum is greater than E1, if the momentum imparted is greater than E1, sorry, this root of 2m to E1, it means the kinetic energy will be more than E1. Isn't it so? The kinetic energy that has been imparted to the second particle will be more than E1. Only then will the momentum be more than this much value, because mass of the second particle is a constant, right? The value of second momentum, which is root of 2m2 times E1, will increase only if this term increases, no? So it means that particle 1 gives kinetic energy more than E1 to particle 2. Now, when this happens, the kinetic energy of the particle becomes 0. Yes? So, how will the particle give energy more than E1 to this particle? You can see as the particle is increasing its kinetic energy, what will happen? The particle will be at some value of kinetic energy, which I will draw in this graph to be equal to something like this. This is the graph. Did you understand this? This is the graph here. So at this point, if the particle collides, got it? So this much energy is lost. So the particle's energy will abruptly become, let's say, somewhere here. Did you understand this? Now, the question whether the particle becomes classically bounded or not. The particle will become classically bounded if its mechanical energy, E, in such case, becomes less than 0. Got it? If the mechanical energy becomes less than 0. Did you understand this? So if the mechanical energy becomes less than 0, and when will that happen? That will happen if the, what's it called? Because potential energy is already at its minimum. If the, what's it called? Kinetic energy becomes less than 0, then what will, sorry, not less than 0, it will be less than a certain value. Then what will happen? The particle will get stuck inside, and the question would be a bounded motion question. Did you understand this? So since the energy lost is more than E1, what will happen? The particle will get stuck because this much region will be decreased and the total mechanical energy will be decreased, and the particle will fall into something called a potential well. Energy will be equal at both the points. The particle will get stuck. So this is a critical thinking question. You saw how much insight it is taking. You have to be very familiar with every small single detail. And that is why I highlighted option number 3. Velocities of the particle at r equals to a and r equals to b are equal has no guarantee. Option number C is wrong. Speed will be equal. Did you understand this? Velocities are not equal because directions can change, right? The particle is coming and going back also. But speed will definitely be equal. So the correct answer A, B, and D are correct answer. And it's actually correct. Did you understand? So this is how you solve some sample questions. This is the technique required. Your mathematical skills, your insight of the chapter, and with practicing, the amount of insight that you get, all are important in all this. Now, what do you get as a result of all this? You will see after I have named it expectation values actually. Anyways, so if you are preparing with the methods that we have seen so far, it is a personal guarantee that your result will be splendid. All right. Just remember, the more you practice, more is the marks that you will get. I normally tell my students a simple rule that for every single 50 set of questions, every 50 questions, you are getting 2 marks in your exams. Got it? So this is how we normally, ask the students to prepare. By the end of practice, it should not be that, okay, there is still a doubt in my chapter. That should not happen. You should be familiar with it. Proper familiarity should always be there. Got it? Understand one thing, JAM is not JEE. All right. Most of you are familiar with JEE entrance because you think that JEE only means learn the methods, solve the problems, get your answer. JAM has insight as well. You have to be completely knowledgeable. You have to know your chapter as well as be good in the formulas and concepts and problem solving. Understood? So be more serious than you were in your JEE preparation. Do all this and then see the preparation for JAM will be very smooth. Got it? So I hope that this has explained to you a lot about your preparation of IIT JAM. For the next part, you will understand how to manage the time, how to study, and how to manage your college work and your your coursework, your homeworks, and all that, your JAM preparation as well. So that will be all for my talk. So I'll end my slide here.
Thanks, Alan, for such a compact, informative, and lucid presentation. I'm sure the students who are listening to us now are those who will listen our session later on will get benefited from this presentation. This gives an overview, whole overview, and such a compact presentation, and in a way that you told how to solve problems, and this was amazing. I'm really inspired by your skills, the way you explain things, and I'm sure the students who are with us will be benefited. Now it is time to call upon our very special guest for his address to students, and we have Chandra Sekhar with us for this special segment of this session. He has a vast experience of working with the students, training them, motivating them with his deep skills of understanding psyche of young students. He has qualified several national level exams and a very good researcher. We are really excited to have him in the panel. Thank you so much, Chandra, for taking precious time from your very engaging schedule and being with us this evening. I sincerely appreciate the effort you're doing for the young students, and I invite you for your presentation. Please take over session for this.
Yeah, good evening, students. Hope everyone is able to hear me. Okay, so thank you everyone for giving me this wonderful opportunity where I can share my knowledge and skills to all the young aspirants. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Just let me know whether you are able to see the PPT or not. Just tell me. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Can you see my PPT?
Please share it on. I don't have it still on this.
Yeah. No problem. Yeah, 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Hope everyone is able to see now.
Yes, yeah. I got. Okay. This on a screen, and your screen is there. Yeah. Now you put your presentation there.
Yeah. Friends, I don't want to take much of your time as Alan sir explained you each and everything in an elaborative way. So let me summarize and let me explain you few interesting things for the upcoming IIT JAM exam especially. Right. So let me give a very quick introduction about myself in 1 second. So my name is Chandra Sekhar. So I have completed my master's in pharmacy from Andhra University, and I have finished my JRF from the Indian Institute of Science, one of the most prestigious institute in India, that is IISc. And friends, so far, okay, I have guided more than 1,400 qualified students in my 7 years of vast experience in NET, GATE, as well as the JAM exam. And myself, I have qualified CSI Net Life Sciences with All India rank 2, GATE Biotechnology with All India rank 9, ICMR exam with the All India rank 17. And these are all the top, whatever the ranks I have produced in top 50 in India. Okay, let me quickly come to the today's topic, IIT JAM 2021. So as sir explained you very well, so what is this JAM exam, friends? What is exactly this JAM exam for? IIT JAM is basically an entrance exam to enter into the MSc program, or you can do your integrated PhD also. Friends, in India, if you want to do PhD after your MSc, it will take 5 years of time. But with this particular type of IIT JAM, within the span of 5 years, you can do your MSc plus integrated PhD also. One of the super fast course was introduced by Indian education system through this IIT JAM exam. Okay, so friends, here comes to the point. Okay, after qualifying the JAM, in what kind of institute you can expect your your MSc or integrated PhD seat. So with the help of JAM, you're going to enter into the top institutes in India like IISc and IITs, Indian Institute of Technologies, NITs, National Institute of Technologies, ISERS, Indian Institute of Science and Education Research, NISERS, National Institute of Science and Education Research, triple ITs, International Indian Institute of Technology, and many more. Many more institutes will be offering you MSc as well as the integrated integrated PhD in this particular physical sciences. And why I have stressed only this institutes, my friends? Suppose, let me tell you one simple thing, friends. Let me tell you a very simple thing to all of you. Suppose you have cracked this IIT JAM biotechnology exam, and you have entered, suppose you want to do a good job in the physical sciences or any research related job. What your recruiter will ask you first, what your recruiter will see you first. Suppose example, friends, you are from a X college, you're from a X college from the Bangalore. Okay, so apart from the Bangalore, anyone can knows about that college? No, not at all. Suppose if you cross the entire state of Karnataka, anyone knows about that? No, never ever. So recruiter first will see, where are you from? So where are you from is basically what? It's giving a brand to you. Suppose if you say that I am from a IIT, I am from a IASC, I am from a NIT, I am from a ISA, then recruiter will get a confident. The student is capable of something. Student is having a great knowledge. Apart from that, what recruiter will also expect along with the brand, recruiter will also expect the most important thing is academic percentage. 99% of the students will think that academic percentage is not at all important. Friends, academic percentage is extremely important. Why? Because some students, if you see whatever I am writing, some students in their first year of BSc they'll get 70%, second year 80%, and third year they will come to 60% once again. See, where there is a no exponential growth here. You are not going in a stationary way. Your academic percentages keep on dropping. Students, whenever a recruiter recruiting you, so same type of question also he will ask you. See, how can I trust you? You will be, you will be continue with my company in a stationary phase. How can I say that, or how can I confirm you will work in my company for 1 year continuously, and second year your performance can comes drastically? So of course, my friends, based on your academic percentage also, they will very surely analyze your overall performance. So it is must and should you have to maintain this academic percentage also. So whenever it comes to the IIT JAM this particular IIT JAM 2021 exam, every year one of the national institute use it to conduct this particular exam, and this year IISc Bangalore, one of the prestigious institute in India, it is going to conduct this particular exam. As SAR said that some people will think that exam is too tough, some people will think that exam is too easy, and some people will think that it's highly impossible to crack. Okay, why this kind of scenario is coming? First most important reason behind this is lack of information. Friends, I will strongly believe one thing: information is the wealth. The more information you are having, more you are closer to your success, friends. So always keep it in your mind one thing: you should know exact information about your upcoming exam. What does it mean by knowing information? First thing is knowing the syllabus, and second thing is analyzing the question paper. This is one of the most important parameter for your success. You have to analyze the question paper. Why I have to analyze the question paper? Because your syllabus is vast and you can't predict exactly, and you don't know also. If you go to Google and check the syllabus of IIT JAM physics, you can get the hundreds of articles, but no one will tell you what exactly the important topics required to crack this IIT JAM exam at one attempt with a great rank. So you should always have a analysis on the particular syllabus. How do you come to know this analysis? By doing thorough research on the previous year paper. And as I told you, my friends, syllabus is vast and time is less. Then how you have to do? How you can crack the exam? You should always go in a smart way. I hope the picture will explaining us. I will always strongly believe in my career, doing smart work is extremely important rather than doing hard work. You can see the picture. Hard work never succeed, smart work will succeed. Hard work never succeed, smart work will succeed. Hard work never succeed, smart work always will succeed. Same thing will apply in our IIT JAM IIT JAM physics exam also. Students, yes, sir said that I can completely agree. The most of the questions are simple questions, and you have to remember one more important thing is that students, most of the questions are analytical questions. What does it mean by the word, students? Analytical question. What you understand by the word analytical? Always keep it in your mind. Analytical questions and application based questions, they basically will check your knowledge, not application
Sorry
of
to
knowledge.
interrupt you, Chandrasekhar. Your presentation is
Yeah,
not
so
available.
I only turned it off. I only turned it off.
Okay, oh, that's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, so students, everyone keep it in your mind. It is must and should that you should apply your knowledge. You should understand the given concept during the examination. Students, always keep it in your mind. This IIT JAM exam is a basic entrance exam for your MSc and integrated PhD, which is a kind of a research oriented program. So what basically examination setters will expect, whether whatever the knowledge you have, whether you are applying your knowledge on the given subject or not. Especially you take MSQ sections. In the MSQ section, there are 4 options are there. As sir said that, see here, all the 4 options are very closely related. You feel that all 3 options are correct, you feel that all 4 options are correct, you feel that only 2 options are correct, and you feel that 2 options are completely wrong. How you are going to analyze this, my friends? If you want to analyze this, it is must and should you have to know the basic, and you have to know the advanced level of concept. It is all about managing. It's all about managing your concept. Certain students, what they will do, they will leave complete basics. They will think that they're very good in basics already, and they will directly go to the advanced level of the concept, which is completely a wrong strategy for your preparation. You never succeed if you can do like that. If you are reading a particular topic, your basics should be very excellent. From the if you are good in basics, then only how difficult they may ask the question, you can easily answer that particular type of the question. When it comes to the time management, most of the people are college going students, right? Some are in the first year, some are in the second year, some are in the third year. Students, always keep it in your mind, this IIT JAM exam having the validity of the 2 years. So I will always request or suggest to the students who are really passionate to do their MSc and research programs in prestigious institutes of in India, I always suggest you start your preparation with first year itself. If not, Start your preparation at least with the second year, because my friends, you are going to get the question from 10 plus 2 plus 3 level only. You are not going to get the questions to depth. But whatever the question they ask in an elaborative way, they're asking in an applied way, they're asking in an analytical way, they're asking in an experimental way. The question is very simple, but the way they ask is completely tricky question. For that reason, you should be excel in the basic. You should understand application of that particular topic. Then you can easily answer that kind of a question. So how I use it to prepare during the examination time? Students, everyone keep it in your mind. Some people will read 2 hours one day, first day. Some people will read 5 hours second day. Some people will read 10 hours third day. Fourth day, they won't stop. They won't study at all. This is not going to work at all. Suppose example, if you are having a 3 hours of dedicated preparation in the day one, at the end of the day also, I mean to say, in the last day of preparation also, you should maintain these 3 hours. Consistency is always important to crack any type of competitive exam, especially IIT JAM. And most important, whenever it comes to the physics, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and formulas you have to be remembered. This is really great task for our brain. And I can always tell you one simple technique. Always remember whatever the formula it may be, whatever it may be, always remember in the form of a picture. Why, sir? Why you are telling to remember in the form of a picture? Friends, remember, our brain always receives only images. Brain never ever receive even a single word also. Think about your mother. Do you think about spelling of mother? Or do you think about picture of mother? Of course, we will think about the picture of mother. It was scientifically proven. Our brain always receives only pictures. So, suppose you take a kinematics, suppose you are having suppose you take a circuits, you are having hundreds of formulas. What you can do, my friends, all these hundreds of formulas, you make a chart and try to paste it on the wall. And trust me, once again, if you read that formulas, trust me, you will forget very easily. But whenever you are trying to visualize that particular picture, at least 2 minutes, minimum 2 minutes, maximum 3 minutes, not at all more than that. Trust me, if any question appear from that particular chart, automatically it will be imprint in your brain, because always brain can store easily in the form of a pictures. So I will encourage to all students, if you start your preparation during the second year, don't spend too much of time, because you have to cope up with your academics, you have to maintain your internal marks, you have to maintain your academic percentage also. At the same time, my friends, give a equal importance to the competitive. This is because this is your career, this is your future, where you're going to nurture in the future, where you're going to create a ample of opportunities for your life. Hence, at least spend a quality time of minimum 1.5 hours and maximum 2 hours in your second year. But whenever it comes to the third year, you have to increase your preparation time, at least 2 more hours. And another important thing, some students, they will read 5 hours, but trust me, they don't know what they are reading at all. Always keep it in your mind whenever you are reading a topic. Suppose example, I tell you in a simple way, you are reading a thermodynamics. Suppose, friends, if you are having a dedicated time of 2 hours, 1 hour only you read. What about another hour? Half an hour you revise. Friends, revision is the mother of learning. The more number of times you revise, you can easily remember that particular concept. And what about half an hour? Now, how do you know that whether whatever you read, whether it is applicable or not? How do you know that? By practicing the questions. Without practicing the question, whatever you read, it is completely useless, according to me. Suppose you read the thermodynamics, then go to the 5 papers of the IIT JAM physics and try to analyze how many number of questions you are able to answer without practicing any practicing questions. Still, you didn't practice any practicing question. Just you understand the concept. After understanding concept, you check yourself. You analyze yourself. What is the level of your understanding? Wherever you are doing mistakes, then once you understand your mistakes, come back to the concept. Once you excel in the concept, then go to the practice questions. and you take your IIT JAM, one of the student asked why IIT JAM having a very low cutoff in the physics. The reason behind that, physics is one of the toughest subject. If it comes to the biotechnology, biological sciences, chemistry, most of the people can answer very easily. Of course, they are having their difficulty level. When compared to this IIT JAM, it's a kind of application based questions, you can get more experimental based questions you will get. So that's the main reason your cutoff will be very low. And I want to tell one thing to all of you. Most of the people will think that once you are excel in the particular topic, do you think that you already you think that you can answer any type of the question, which is absolutely wrong strategy. Once you are excel in the topic, practice more number of questions, then only go for this particular I mean to say answering the other type of the questions. So keep it in your mind, the people who are especially preparing for the IIT JAM Physics 2021, always start your preparation with the basic, then go to the advanced level. And most important thing, do you think it's possible to cover the entire syllabus in a short span? No, I don't agree with that. That's why I told you doing smart work is very important. Then take the 7-year papers of the previous year papers of IIT JAM Physics, as sir also said you. Choose which are most important topics, then put your entire effort in that particular important topics. Once you put your effort in that particular important topics, of course your rank is going to vary with the others. Why? Because other people are going in a wrong strategy, you are going in a true and correct strategy, which will help you to crack the exam without fail with a good rank. And most of the people will think that the cutoff is very low, I can easily crack the exam, then how can I enter into the prestigious institute? As sir also discussed about this, even though you crack the exam, you're having a kind of interview, because like you, hundreds of students are qualified the exam. Now all people are entered into the ISR Kolkata, or all people enter into the Bayrock, into the interview panel. Now suppose example, you are having 33 marks, another girl also having the 33 marks, then what they will come to know? So first, then they will check your academic percentage, they will take that as one of the major criteria. Second thing, here comes an interview. What kind of questions will be asked in your interviews? Do you think a very difficult kind of questions will be asked in your interviews? Never ever, friends. They will ask a very simple questions in a applicative way. Even though you know answer, you can't answer during that particular condition, because the question is very simple. They will ask in a analytical way or application way. For that reason, my friends, you should be very thorough with your concept. Once you are thorough with concept, without second thought, whatever the question they may ask, you can easily answer. Second thing, first thing is time. If you are starting your preparation from the first year, I can tell minimum 2 hours. Second year also 2 to 2.5 hours. Whenever if you are starting your preparation directly from the third year, then I am requesting all of you to go for at least a minimum of 4 hours of dedicated preparation. There is a word called dedicated. Why? Because some people, they will read for 6 hours, they don't know what they are reading also. But some people read just for 1 hour, but they will focus very much. Focused preparation is very much, friends. Whenever you are in your preparation mode, your muscles, nerves, brain, everything should work for your exam, should think about your wonderful future after qualifying the exam, after entering into the prestigious institutes. So first is time management. Second thing is smart work. No need to concentrate on A to Z topics which are completely unnecessary for the exam. You have to concentrate on the topics which are most weighted, which are oftenly asked. This is called smart work. Why to read all the topics? This is not a college exams where you can buy hard each and everything and reproduce in the exam. This is not that. It's a competitive way where you are going to compete with all over India, where your competitive skills are going to analyzed. That's why you should always go in a smart way. Time management, smart way. And another most important thing is that students, 90% of the students having one doubt. What is that doubt? Sir, I am working very hard, but will I guaranteely qualified in the exam or not? Students, this is the common question will come into the minds of every prepared students. Always keep it in your mind. How much ever enthusiasm you are having during your first day of preparation, same enthusiasm you have to show at the end of the preparation. And never ever worried about result. Trust me, if you worried about your result, you never get a great rank in your lifetime. I'm not discouraging you, I'm telling you the fact. But if you love whatever you are doing, as you know that physics is one of the wonderful subject where you can apply this physics even to our nature, everywhere, even to health field, even to the pharmaceutical field, even to the agriculture, everywhere you can apply this particular physics. So that much beautiful subject it was. So you have to enjoy what exactly you are going to read. If you are reading in a paragraphed manner, you never understand, my friends. Whatever the line you are reading, that should imprint in your brain. You have to understand how I have to apply this. Whenever you are applying that, automatically you will get a great happiness first of all, and you will get a confidence that I can do something in the physics field. And students, one more important thing, if you are preparing for the exam, if you prepare with force, it never goes into brain, never ever. Why? Because suppose you are watching a movie, whenever you are watching a movie, you know what will happen. You are watching your favorite movie, especially whenever you are watching your favorite movie, you are really greatly enthusiastic, you want to watch each and every scene. So friends, whichever you are doing with love, whichever you are doing with enthusiasm, all the time goes into our brain. Our nerves will be highly stimulated to receive that kind of information. But you are watching a movie, or you are going to a particular place, or you are talking to a person where you do not have any interest, do you think that entire thing will goes into your brain? Never. So always keep it in your mind, whatever you are reading with interest, that only receives the brain. If you are reading with force, if you are reading with a pressure, even though you read 15 hours per day, even single concept also never goes into your brain. So always try to enjoy what you are doing by spending a valid and quality of time. I never encourage you to stick to the book. That is absolutely wrong strategy. Do you think if you read 10 hours per day, do you think you crack the exam and you will get a great job? Never ever. If you are reading 1 hour, if you're reading 2 hours, put your heart and soul in your preparation, and with a smart way, as a result, you can easily crack the exam. And another very important thing is books, because if you type in the Google, you will get hundreds of books, and some people will tell you prepare this book, some people will tell you prepare this book, your teachers will tell some books, online will say some books, your friends will say some books. Ultimately you will get really mad, you don't know what exactly you have to prepare. For this particular type of things, always take the valid suggestion from the expert faculties, take the suggestions from the toppers, whatever the books they have followed, whatever the strategy they have followed, please try to focus that particular strategy, my friends. If you are really focusing on that particular type of strategy, trust me, you can easily crack the exam. So time management is very important for the exam, smart learning is very important for the exam, most important is books. It's a valid study material is very important. If you want to read thermodynamics and kinematic circuits, it will take a great time for you in reading a different type of books. So learn or take the suggestion from the experts and the toppers, and try to read exactly what you want to read. So remember, students, then so many people will ask me one important question: sir, can I crack the exam without guidance, without any coaching? I can say absolutely yes. When this S will apply, if you are having a real great determination, if you are having a great patience, and if you are having thorough strategy. Students, I am, suppose imagine I am a student, I am very much interested to prepare the IIT JAM, and I have to crack the IIT JAM under any circumstances, but I don't know how to read. where to read, what to start, what not to read, what extent to read, what kind of questions are coming, whether the question is direct, indirect, depth of the concept, experimental, analytical. I don't know at all. Who will tell this? A mentor, a guide, a teacher is the best book, I can say that. Okay, so teacher will help you what not to study, what extent to study. Everything will be guided by a wonderful teacher. Hence, I request all of you, along with your self preparation, you require a wonderful mentor, wonderful guide who will give you magical shortcuts, who will give you wonderful tips and tricks to solve any difficult question in a simple way. When you have this kind of guidance, trust me, you can answer any type of question. Friends, why most of the people don't know about IIT JAM exam only? Everyone will think that I want to work in I want to study in my state university, then I want to work in my state only. So students, this is not the physics. You have to expose yourself all over India. If you see the countries like all European countries like Germany, Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, there's a great vast research is going in the atomic physics, nuclear physics, thin filaments, kinematics, general physics, semiconductors. There's a vast research is going on, and it was surprisingly to say that 40% of great physical scientists present in the world, they are from India. So then imagine how great importance your physical sciences having in your career. If you are really truly passionate about the physics, and if you want to do research, or if you want to do a great job in your physical sciences, IIT JAM is one of the major platform for you. So make use of this particular IIT JAM exam, and it is not at all difficult, and at the same time it is not too easy also. So a very well dedicated preparation with a great mentor by managing time with a successful smart way and smart tips and tricks will help you to crack the exam very easily. And last most important thing I have to tell all of you is that whenever you are starting a preparation, always start your preparation. For example, I am telling for the IIT JAM, always start with the NCERT level also, in order to nurture your basics, because most of us, we never read anything in our BSc level. We use it to enjoy, right? As a result, I mean to say, in the PUC level, as a result, we use it to forget all. So in order to brush up your basics, so always go through the NCERT books also, then you will come to the advanced level. And most important thing is that is true, you are having so many formulas, you have to remember also. But my friends, you have to remember so many things, and you have to apply so many things. Everything you cannot apply, and everything you can remember. So this is exam is a balance of remembering as well as the applying. And whenever it comes to the formulas, always try to make a simple charts and try to remember in a easiest way. So once you completed your MSc, you are having a wonderful job opportunity. As Sir said that you can go for the junior research fellowship, you can go for the PhD in Tiffer Institutes, one of the best institute in India for the physical sciences. You can go for the ISRO, you can go for the DRDO, you can go for the BIRAC, you can go for BHEL, you can go for NCIL. There are wonderful government associated, private associated, central government affiliated, lot of institutes are providing great ample of opportunities in the physics department. Okay, so if you find any difficulty in the preparation of IIT JAM 2021, so you can mail us, you can contact us for any further preparation. If you find any difficulty anytime, we will always there to help you. Okay, so this is the, and that is what I want to talk, because most of the part was covered by Alan sir very briefly, and I don't want to stress you more and more, because our brain cannot receive entire information same time. Even as per my knowledge, you also get exhausted by this time. So let's keep some time for question and answer discussion. Whatever the questions you are having, we will be happy to answer that particular queries. Okay, by this I'm ending my session, and my sincere thanks to all of you for giving this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Chandrasekhar, for such an interesting session. It is very important for students to keep their motivation level high and how to manage it. This strategic importance of time management and the way we learn things it is really inspiring and interesting. I am sure those students who are with us must be very excited to know, and I'm sure they are looking forward for cracking this exam with such a good results and good preparation. And as Alan told his in presentation that even we start now, it is not late. We should start initially, but even if we start now, it is not late. We can do, we can achieve what we dream. It is just you need a right mentor, you need a right guidance from the experts. And you told it very beautifully, very in a very proper way. So I'm really happy that you both are with us at this platform, and the timing for our session is also important. The last date for registration into JAM 2021 is 15th October, just 5 days. So even somebody who is not motivated up to now, after listening our session, they may get excited and they apply the form, and we are always there to help them, to stand by them, to guide them. So there is some questions also there in comment section. So I would like to put Ellen. Ellen was there? Yeah, Ellen is there. So I'm just putting some 1 and 2 questions. We don't have much time. We have already about 2 hours. So there is one question by one of our audience, one student, Ratan Dixit. He's asking why there is low cutoff in IIT JAM. I think Ellen is the best person to answer this.
Chandrasekhar sir already has covered this part. The simple reason for the lowest cutoff in JAM physics is because it is the most difficult subject that you have. All right, it is very difficult for everyone to finish the entire syllabus on time. All right, even if you're preparing for 2 years or 3 years, does not matter now. All right, it will always be a little difficult for you to cover the entire syllabus. As an example, I'll tell you the CSIR physics course. All right, not IIT JAM. I'll give you an example for CSIR physics course. Has around 80% syllabus of CSR mathematical sciences, around 30-40% syllabus of CSR chemical sciences, and the entire thing of physical sciences. All right, the IIT JAM course has around 60% of the entire syllabus for IIT JAM mathematics. So all of that plus your own syllabus, it's obviously going to be difficult. That's why the cutoff is less. Second reason,
thank you.
The number of seats is also a little less. All right, so
okay. Thank you, Alan, for this response. I'm sure Ratan has got the answer he wanted. Although we have covered all the information, detailed information in the session, there is not much space for questions. But still, if anybody has questions, anybody has to ask, we have answers on that. Like we have one question in comment section: is Goldstein enough for numerical? So we have already told that there are some books. Practice is very important. There is a reference book for practice. So we have already talked this. If you want to say something, you can say, and then we'll proceed. Yeah.
The Goldstein is actually for classical mechanics, the book that I was referring to, not for mathematical methods. You can refer to Afkin for that, or Merle C. Potter for that. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So there are some other questions also, but we don't have much time to take now these questions as of now. So what you can see email and number is on the screen. You can the people who are looking this part, they can contact us, and we are always there to help them, to mentor them, and to support them for this. So we are looking forward for interaction with the people who are with us and who are trying to crack this exam and explore the research frontiers and be part in prestigious research institutions in India. So with that all, I am really thankful for both of you to be here and for such an informative session. And with that, I think it is time to close this session for today, and we will get to the queries. We will listen to the people who need our help, our mentorship, our guidance, and our experts are always in contact with us. So we will announce if we need some more session or some more program or some dedicated guidance for this exam particular, and we are looking forward to address those concerns and help our students. So thank you so much for joining this session, and we are closing for now. Thank you again.